Hi, I'm Nora. I've spent the last 8 years climbing the corporate ladder at Bennett Marketing Group, and last month I finally made executive director. The promotion came with a sweet bonus that I decided to use on a dream vacation to Hawaii. 2 weeks of sun, sand, and absolutely zero family drama. Or so I thought. You can't possibly go to Hawaii without inviting your sister. Melissa has been dying for a vacation, and those poor kids haven't been anywhere in years. That was my mom, Gloria, doing what she does best, making me feel guilty for having a life. I was at their Sunday dinner, the one I try to attend every other week to keep the peace. Mom, I planned this as a solo trip. I need the break. Nonsense. Family should vacation together, Dad chimed in, passing the mashed potatoes. Richard always backed Mom up, especially when it came to Melissa. I took a deep breath. You know what happens when I'm around Melissa and Dave? Somehow, I end up watching Emma and Tyler the entire time while they're off doing whatever they want. That's not true. Mom looked offended. They're just struggling a bit financially. Dave's construction business isn't doing well, and with 2 kids. The doorbell rang, saving me from another lecture about how I should help my sister because I'm single with disposable income. Speak of the devils, Dad said cheerfully, as Melissa, Dave, and their kids burst in. 7-year-old Emma immediately ran to me. Aunt Nora, can we make cookies after dinner like last time? Sure, sweetie, I said, ruffling her hair. Tyler, who was 5 and perpetually sticky, climbed onto my lap without asking. Aunt Nora, can I play games on your phone? Before I could answer, Melissa dropped her purse on the table. Nora's going to Hawaii? That's so unfair. We haven't had a vacation in forever. I hadn't even mentioned Hawaii yet. Mom must have texted her. Well, actually, Mom started. Nora's taking us all to Hawaii, Dad announced proudly. I choked on my water. I never said that. Dave grinned widely. No way. That's awesome, Nora. The kids will love it. 3 days later, I was somehow booking tickets for 6 people instead of 1. I insisted on keeping my first-class ticket, though. At least I'd have peace on the flight. As I was leaving work that Friday, Melissa's friend Jen caught me in the parking lot. Hey, Nora, got a minute? I barely knew Jen, but she seemed concerned. I overheard Melissa talking about your Hawaii trip. Just watch yourself, okay? She was telling everyone how she finally scored a vacation where you'd watch the kids the whole time, so she and Dave could really enjoy themselves. My blood boiled. She said what? Sorry, I know it's awkward. But she was literally bragging about it at book club. Said something about you being desperate for family time since you're single, so you wouldn't mind. I thanked Jen and called my travel agent immediately. Hi, Sandy, it's Nora. I need to make some changes to my Hawaii booking. No, I'm not canceling. I'm just making sure my family understands exactly what they're getting into. I might be paying for this vacation, but I was done being the family doormat. If Melissa thought she was going to use me as a free nanny in paradise, she had another thing coming. The morning of our flight, I arrived at the airport early, coffees in hand as a peace offering. Where have you been? We've been waiting forever, Melissa snapped, ignoring my gesture. I headed to the first-class counter while they followed behind me. Wait, you're flying first class? While we're stuck in economy? Dave looked offended. I paid for everyone's tickets. I kept the first-class seat I originally booked. Melissa turned to our parents. Mom, Dad, did you hear that? Nora's making us sit in the back while she lives it up in first class. Gloria touched my arm. Honey, wouldn't it be nice to let Melissa have the first-class seat? She rarely gets treats like this. And you could help with the kids during the flight, Dave added quickly. I specifically kept this seat because I need to review presentation materials. I can't do that while watching kids. Always putting work first, Dad muttered. Family should come first, Nora. If family came first, maybe Melissa and Dave would watch their own kids for once. 6 hours later, we arrived at the Kauai Shores Resort. I'd barely set my bags down when Melissa appeared with Emma and Tyler, both in swimsuits. The kids want to go to the pool. Dave and I are getting couples massages. You don't mind watching them, right? Thanks. You're the best. Before I could respond, she shoved the kids' beach bags into my arms and vanished. At the pool, Tyler immediately cannonballed in, splashing an elderly couple who glared at me. "Aunt Nora, can you come in the water with me?" Emma asked. "In a minute, sweetie." I stepped away when I overheard familiar voices from the cabana bar. "I can't believe she actually paid for all of us," Dave was saying. "And she's watching the kids right now." Melissa laughed. "Told you it would work. Nora's so desperate to be part of a family, she'll do anything. We'll dump the kids with her all week, free vacation and free childcare." "You two seem to have a great system going," said a male voice I didn't recognize. "Oh, it's perfect," Melissa continued. "Nora's single, no kids, tons of money. She practically begs to spend time with us." The bartender, his name tag read Cameron, raised an eyebrow. "Sounds like she's being pretty generous." "She owes us," Dave said dismissively. "She makes way more than we do." I stepped back, shaking with anger. Behind me, Tyler was climbing on a decorative rock wall, while Emma yelled at him to get down. "Excuse me," Cameron said, suddenly appearing beside me. "Those your kids?" "My niece and nephew," I corrected automatically. "And those are your—" "Sister and brother-in-law, who I just discovered see me as nothing but a free babysitting service." Cameron nodded sympathetically. "Want me to call security when they come back? Say we have a no abandonment policy?" For the first time since landing, I smiled. That's tempting. But I have a better idea. I borrowed Cameron's phone, and we casually walked past the cabana bar where Melissa and Dave were still drinking. "So you're always stuck watching their kids?" Cameron asked loudly. Melissa spun around. "Nora, we were just about to come get the kids." "No rush. I heard you're getting the full vacation experience while I handle the childcare." Dave laughed nervously. "We were just joking around." "Yeah, I know exactly how it is. Been that way for years, right?" Cameron slipped his phone into my hand as my parents approached. "There you all are," Gloria beamed. "Isn't this resort beautiful? Did you know Melissa and Dave plan to use me as their personal nanny this entire trip?" Dad frowned. "Now, Nora, that's not fair. They're just taking a little break." "A little break? They literally just said—" Melissa cut me off. "We were just having a quick drink. You're always so possessive of the kids." Gloria sided with her. "Melissa and Dave deserve some relaxation. Nora doesn't understand because she doesn't have children." I took a deep breath. New strategy time. "You know what? You're right. I'm sorry for overreacting." The shocked looks on their faces were priceless. "Really?" Melissa asked suspiciously. "Really. In fact, I'm going to arrange some activities for all of us. My treat?" I handed the kids back and headed to the main office. The resort manager, Andrea, listened to my situation. "So you want to teach them a lesson?" "I have some ideas." "I'm all ears." "We can arrange private excursions, helicopter tour, sunset cruise, luau dinner, all requiring advance payment." "Perfect. I'll tell them I've booked group activities." "And our kids club requires parental sign-in. We can't accept drop-offs from aunts." I grinned. "So if they try to dump the kids with me?" "We'll have to track down the parents. Resort policy." Back at the pool, I found everyone relaxing while Tyler was terrorizing another child. "Great news! I've arranged amazing excursions for our vacation." Dave perked up. "Like what?" "Helicopter tour tomorrow morning, sunset dinner cruise the next day, and exclusive access to the resort's private beach area." Melissa clapped. "That sounds amazing. What time is the helicopter tour?" 8 a.m. sharp, and don't worry about breakfast. It's provided." Gloria hugged me. "See? This is what family vacations are all about." Little did they know, I'd only booked one seat on each excursion. Mine. As for the private beach access, I'd reserved a cabana just for myself on the adults-only side. "Oh, and one more thing," I added sweetly. "The resort's having a special dinner tonight. 7 o'clock. Don't be late. I have a surprise." I checked the recording on Cameron's phone. Every word was crystal clear. Tonight would be unforgettable. At exactly 7, we all gathered at the oceanfront restaurant. I'd arranged a private table on the terrace with a stunning sunset view. Cameron had helped set up a small Bluetooth speaker under the table, connected to my phone. "This place is incredible," Dad said, looking around at the tiki torches and tropical flowers. Melissa and Dave were already ordering the most expensive items on the menu. Emma and Tyler were surprisingly well-behaved, coloring on their kids' menus. "So what's this big surprise?" Melissa asked between sips of her $20 Mai Tai. "I thought we should have a toast." I raised my glass. "To family and honesty." I pressed play on my phone. Instantly, Melissa and Dave's voices filled the air. "Nora's so desperate to be part of a family, she'll do anything. We'll dump the kids with her all week, free vacation and free childcare. She owes us. She makes way more than we do." The table went silent. Melissa's face drained of color. "You recorded us?" Dave sputtered. "You were speaking in a public place. I wanted Mom and Dad to hear how you really feel about me." Gloria looked disturbed, but quickly composed herself. "Nora, that was unnecessary. I'm sure they were just joking." "Joking? They've been using me for years." Dad sighed. "Let's not make a scene. We're on vacation. Can't we just enjoy it?" "Are you serious right now? Did you not hear what they said about me?" Gloria patted my hand condescendingly. "Honey, families have to compromise. Melissa has children to care for." That was it. The final straw. "I've made some changes to our vacation plans. I'm moving to the adults-only resort next door for the remainder of my stay." Melissa snorted. "Dramatic much? Fine, go pout." "Oh, I'm not just changing resorts. I've canceled all the group activities I mentioned. If you want to go on excursions, you'll need to book them yourselves." Dave's face reddened. "But you promised us a helicopter tour." "I also arranged with the resort to charge all room service, spa treatments, and bar tabs directly to your rooms. I'm only paying for the base accommodations as originally agreed." Dave stood up, knocking over his chair. "You can't do that. We can't afford this place." "Then perhaps you shouldn't have planned to take advantage of me." Dave lunged across the table, grabbing my wrist. "You stuck-up bitch! You think you're better than us?" Security appeared almost instantly. Andrea had stationed them nearby, anticipating trouble. "Is there a problem here?" A large man in a security uniform towered over Dave. "This man just assaulted me," I said calmly. As security escorted a cursing Dave away, Melissa turned to our parents. "Are you just going to let her ruin our vacation?" Gloria looked torn. "Nora, please reconsider. For the family." "I've reconsidered my role in this family for years. I'm done being used." I stood up and handed Andrea my room key. "My bags are already packed." 3 days later, I was lounging in a private cabana at the Paradise Cove Resort, enjoying a mimosa with Cameron, who had transferred to work at this adults-only property. "Any regrets?" he asked. "Only that I didn't stand up for myself sooner." Back home a month later, I heard from Dad that Dave's construction business was struggling after videos of his resort meltdown went viral. Melissa had been forced to get a job for the first time in years. They still tried calling when they needed a babysitter. My new response was simple. "Sorry, I have plans." And I always did. What would you do if you were in Nora's position? Should she have confronted her family earlier? Or was she right to plan a calculated revenge that exposed them all at once? Is cutting off toxic family members ever the right choice? Or should you always try to work things out no matter how many times they take advantage of you? Share your thoughts in the comments below. If you enjoyed this revenge story, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe for more satisfying tales of standing up to toxic people. New stories uploaded daily.